So I'm going to talk to you today about what I think is the 5 essential items that you're going to need to start a bushcraft journey in the outdoors or to enhance that journey, with the 6th bonus item which I'm going to discuss right at the end. So this is my 5 items, how they can help you to enhance your bushcraft journey. Item number 1. An axe. With absolutely hundreds to choose from, which one is right for you much depends on what you want to be doing with it. But the bottom line is this: an axe allows you to split open larger pieces or larger diameter timber. It allows you to fell more effectively, and it can be a very, very useful lifesaver in the outdoors if used and employed correctly. So an axe. In this case, I've gone for a little handmade Cooper's axe, which was made for me and sent in from my friend's uncle. And the beauty is also it fits inside my bag. So this comes with me everywhere I go. We made a video already on this channel about caring and maintaining your axe, so be sure to check that one out. Things you're typically looking for when buying an axe is you want something that has enough length on it to be able to allow it to do what it's intended to do, which is to come down with weight and let the weight of the head do the work and split open or bust open wood grain. What I particularly love about this bearded axe is that it carries quite a bit of weight to it with this enhanced guard around the top here. It's extremely reliable, and it blitzes down even the hardest of seasoned oak with ease. Secondary uses are things like wood carving, or occasionally I do it knocking in pegs. Okay. Another thing to really think about generally is in choosing which size or type of axe you're going to go for. Think about what poundage or how heavy the head is. How long the handle is will much depend on the way that you can use it. An expression people often use is the further north you travel, the longer the axe is going to need to be. Something like this full-length North American felling axe I'm going to be using in the upright position, and I'm going to be bringing down and splitting open wood if I need to. Another item in the bag, which is definitely an essential, hiding, is going to be a knife. I've made several videos on this channel about knives. I've done one looking at Mora knives. I've done reviews of all kinds of bits and pieces. I choose to use my own knife, which I've spent an awful lot of time prototyping and designing, and I feel is optimum for work in the outdoors. I equally use 12 to 15 pounds Mora companion knives when I'm running courses. It's very much a preferential thing. As your skill set increases and your knowledge base increases, by all means go out and buy a more expensive knife. But to start with, you haven't got to break the bank. You could just buy a little Mora knife for about 12 to 15 pounds. We'll put a link in the box below to something like that. This is your number 1 lifeline and your number 1 go-to tool. So you can see, using this high quality knife, I'm using several techniques here. The knife, a humble but essential piece of kit to have in your bag. In addition to that, you may choose to have a sheath which has all sorts of fancy bits attached to it, like a stone to sharpen it, and maybe a ferrocerium fire striker rod. These aren't essential items, but they do help as you increase your knowledge and skill base and your journey into bushcraft grows. So what I'm personally looking for when I buy a knife, okay, is I'm looking for something which has a blade that starts very early from where the handle stops, because the first inch coming out of the handle is going to be the belly of the blade and is going to give me the most amount of power and control. Another thing I tend to go for is a good quality grip and a decent level of thickness, between 2 and 4 mil. Remember, a knife is just a tool, that's all it is. Whether you go for a stainless or a dulled blade or a powder coated, how it looks is up to you guys. But a decent knife designed to work in the outdoors is something you need to be adding to your arsenal. So that's the knife. Next item, the humble folding saw. This little Laplander is designed and made in Sweden. It's ever so simple. It's basically bomb-proof. A little brightly coloured lanyard here ensures that I don't get it lost too easily or readily on the forest floor. They do now come in bright orange. It's pretty self-explanatory. Press where it says press. Holding that down, open it out till you hear an audible click, and make sure it's not going to close around on your fingers. Light, easy and effective to use. If I want to create a bit of a decent piece of timber here, all I've done is jammed this into the base of another tree. I'm going to lean over, and with relative ease I can go through fairly decent sized diameter seasoned wood. And you can see how clean this thing is, and it's super seasoned English elm I've just cut through. It's made of a very soft and forgiving steel, which is ideal for beginners. Remember, something like this might just save your bacon in being able to reduce down some timber to get a fire on, to signal for help, to keep yourself warm, to cook the food, or to boil and purify water, etc. It's got retro-fitted, over-hardened teeth. To close it down, it's a simple case of press where it says press, keep your fingers out the way, and watch it close back down. It doesn't weigh very much, it doesn't cost very much. These are between 15 to 20 pounds. Next item, the camping mug, the camping canteen, the cooking vessel, the pot, whatever you want to call it, something to cook your food and heat water and drink from is essential. Some of the requirements for this are going to be quite straightforward. It's going to be a case of, am I happy putting this into an open campfire if I have to? Coming from a background in Her Majesty's Royal Marines, I'm a huge advocate and fan for the Crusader mug. I now see its true worth in its ability to bake bread, in its ability to do just about everything I ask of it. I'm not worried if I tread on it in the dark. I don't think it's going to break in a hurry. In fact, it doesn't. I found an aftermarket lid so I can seal the thing up. It is by and large bomb-proof. It doesn't break the bank. You can buy these at surplus stores. Item number 5 is going to be something to sleep underneath, to be able to get you out of the wind and the elements, to give you the shade you need from the harsh sun, to shelter from the rain, and to be able to keep out harsh winds. And it's going to be a humble tarpaulin. I'm just using a one-person item, which is a American Helicon poncho. Can easily be doubled up and turned into a bivvy bag of sorts. The beauty of this particular model is all I need to do to make it functional is put it straight over my head, and regardless of whether I've got my rucksack on or anything else, okay, it's covering me completely and protecting me from harsh sun, harsh wind or harsh rain. And with a few added guidelines here and there, I can rig it up between 2 trees to give myself a shelter to perhaps spend the night under. Okay, this has become a dear friend to me when I'm out here working in the woods on my own. But if you're going to be getting out there with the family and doing maybe more of a group thing, or maybe there's just 2 of you, or maybe it is that you want to get your kids into the outdoors, okay, you're going to be looking for something a bit more of a sensible size and something a bit more maybe like this. So this is a very simple 3x3 multicam tarpaulin from DD Hammocks. Something of this size, okay, is easily going to be ample for yourself and your family to get up underneath, maybe spend the night if you have to, or maybe you're just building a den for the day to encourage the children to interact with the outdoors. And now for the thing everybody misses every single time. Knowledge. I literally go to bed every single night with my head in a book. It doesn't matter whether I'm reading Nick Baker's UK Guide to Tracking, or whether I'm reading a book on fungus and identification or foraging. If you've got any recommended books on bushcraft, please drop links in the box below. That would be very helpful, not just to myself, but to anyone else reading the comments. So my 6th and most important item is knowledge. The more you know, the less you have to carry in the outdoors. So with this in mind, all in all, I would say you could set yourself up in the outdoors with a knife, axe, saw, something to cook in, and something to be able to crawl in or underneath to sleep under for less than 100 quid. And I'm a big, strong advocate, having come from the armed forces, of second-hand or unused military equipment, because it's really built to last and you're going to get your money's worth out of those items.